Hello Lego Puzzle Box fans! Today we have another full tutorial for you. This one is titled Retro. It reminded us of like an 80s dance party. Let's get started with a full tutorial build. This puzzle box is on a 6x8 plate. I have a 1x2 plate here, a 1x6 plate, a 1x4 plate, a 1x2 plate, a 1x1 tile, this is in the bright pink, a 1x3 plate, a 1x1 tile in light aqua, a 1x4 plate, and a 1x1 tile in the bright light orange. And then I have a 2x4 tile there, and a 2x3 tile, a 1x6 tile, a 1x3 plate, and a 1x1 tile. All right, for this layer, I'm going to start with this 2x2 corner plate. This one goes here, and then a 1x2 plate. Here's our money piece. It's a 1x2 tile, and then a 1x2 plate, a 1x2 tile, like that. This 1x1 plate sits next to the tile. I'm going to leave a space, another 1x1 plate, leave a space, and then one more. And then this 1x4 plate sits on top of the last one. I have a 1x1 brick. This goes here. And then the 1x2 tile sits next to it. And then a 1x1 plate, a 1x1 tile in the bright light orange, and a 1x1 plate. All right, for this next row, I have this 1x2 plate. This will be our first Frankenbricked piece. I'm going to grab the under tube, squeeze, and get it out. And then just make sure there's no residual plastic so that it can slide cleanly on this stud. And it does. And I'm going to put a 1x2 tile over top of that. Then I have a 1x1 plate here, a 1x2 brick without the under tube, and then a yellow 1x2 tile over top, a 2x4 plate here, a 1x3 plate, a 1x4 plate, another 1x3 plate, a 1x1 plate, and a 1x4 plate. Okay, building up another row, I have a 1x6 plate, a 2x2 corner plate, a 1x4 plate, a 2x3 plate, a 1x3 plate, a 1x2 plate, and a 2x2 corner plate. All right, we have a few more layers of plates, starting with this 2x2 corner plate, and then a 1x2 plate, a 1x4 plate, another 1x4 plate, a 1x3 plate here, and a 1x4 plate, a 1x3 plate, and a 1x3 plate. And then I have this 1x8 plate, 1x1 tile. All right, we are going to skip a stud here, and this 1x3 plate sits flush with the edge of the box. This 1x4 plate sits over top of the 3 studs and partially over the tile. A 1x6 plate, a 1x3 plate, and a 1x1 plate. This one could also be a 1x4. I think it conceals what the box is about a little bit better if it's a 1x3 and a 1x1, which is why I chose that, but if you don't have those pieces, a 1x4 also works there. And then a 1x1 tile there. All right, next we're gonna build a slider. It's our remaining 2 Frankenbricked pieces of the box. It starts with this 1x4 modified piece with the 2 studs and a 1x1 in light aqua. I'm going to push those two together. And then this is a 1x3 plate in bright pink. And I'm going to remove the undertube here. And because I'm using new bricks, I have actually found that it needs a little bit of shaving on the sides. If you're not using new pieces, it probably doesn't need that. But because I am using new pieces, it just slides a little bit better and has less resistance if you take a little bit of that off. So there's the undertube that is removed. This one is intact still. And this 1x3 doesn't have side ridges, but if it did along these sides here, you would want to remove those also. This sits right like this. And this should be able to slide. And then I'm going to put this 2x2 corner plate and this 1x1 plate over top. Next on this 2x2 corner plate, I'm going to remove the undertube here. So I'm going to flip it over, remove that undertube. Get rid of any extra plastic. And then you also want to remove this side support at the 90 degrees. So I'm just going to cut that down and get that out. And let's test to see if this can slide, and it can. When I originally designed this box, I made this a tile, and I found that when I constructed it with new unused pieces, it was too much resistance. So I ended up putting a 1x1 tile there instead of a 1x2. If you are using used pieces, you may want to substitute this out for a 1x2 tile instead of the 1x1. But that's totally up to you. It works with either one. Okay, to finish off our slider, we have a 1x2 brick. That one sits there. And you may want to glue this 1x3 plate on top of that brick. That's up to you. And a 1x3 tile over top. This one is in yellow. Then I have a 1x3 plate and followed by another 1x3 plate. This 1x2 tile extends over the edge like that. And then I have a 1x1 plate and a 1x4 plate, a 1x4 tile in bright pink, and a 1x1 tile in light aqua. And this is going to sit into the box right here. Okay, next I have a 1x2 plate, a 1x4 plate, and a 1x2 plate. And then down in this cavity, I have space for this 1x4 plate, which I dropped. And then over top of that, I have a 1x1 plate and a 1x6 plate. And then again over that, a 1x8 plate that spans the entire distance of the box. These 1x2 tiles sit next to that 1x8 plate. And then in this spot here, I have two 1x2 plates. That could also be a 2x2. That's not incredibly important, but I did like on the side having a little bit more division to, again, conceal the mechanism of the box. Okay, next we are going to build another slider. It starts with these two pieces here, a 1x2 plate and a 1x1 plate. This 1x2 plate is going to overhang one unit. We're going to leave a space still. This 2x2 corner plate sits on top. We're going to keep our space, and then this 1x4 plate will connect it. So it looks like that. And then this 1x2 plate here, a 2x2 corner plate, and a 1x3 plate. Okay, and to complete our slider, I have a 1x4 plate, a 1x1 plate, this 1x2 tile sits like that, a 1x3 plate, and a 1x2 plate. And then these 1x4 tiles are going to, this one's going to sit on those 3 studs and extend 1. This one sits on those 2 studs and extends 2. And I'm going to place this into the box right here, if I can get it to go. And then this 2x6 plate sits like that. And next, to finish off our box, we have a 1x2 jumper in yellow, a 1x2 tile in light aqua, a 1x1 tile in bright light orange, and a 1x3 tile in bright pink. And then I'm just going to alternate between white and black tiles. And I'm going to start with white here. It should be 12 white and 12 black. And then I'm going to make sure I line up the black tiles and line up the white tiles. And then we're going to top it off with a 1x8 white tile, and that will be our tool. So there you have the full tutorial for the Retro Lego Puzzle Box by Cheat 3. All right, we will see you on the next one. Cheat 3 out.